Hello, my name is Keenan Cortez, and I'm honored to serve as Mayor of Joplin. I hope you've subscribed by now to our monthly email newsletter, The Citizen. Each month, I enjoy the opportunity to share an update about our local government is up to. I'm amazed by the team of dedicated public servants at the city who strive to make this place we love a little better every day. This January, as we embark on a new year, I want to share an update on how the city is making the most of grant funding to finance major upgrades in our community. Believe it or not, your city leaders really take fiscal responsibility and transparency very seriously. That's why we're so proud that recent audits came back clean, confirming the city follows appropriate financial practices, and we've earned yet another certificate of excellence in financial reporting from the Government Finance Officers Association. The federal government has not always invested as much into Joplin as it was getting in tax revenue from our corner of the state. But now that's changing. An incredible amount of money is being poured into the City of Joplin to help us make improvements in a wide variety of ways. In the wake of the 2020 pandemic, the federal government passed historic legislation to fund a variety of projects around the nation through grant processes. The American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, better known as ARPA, was passed to help the nation recover from the economic impacts of COVID-19. As a part of this legislation, all cities qualified for a proportional slice of the money being given out, based on population. The City of Joplin was awarded $13.8 million in ARPA dollars to spend on certain projects, which qualified as approved uses of that money. ARPA also funded other grant programs which cities could apply for. Then, the federal government also passed a bipartisan infrastructure law in the Inflation Reduction Act, which provided federal funding to another long list of grant programs. Some of the grants would be awarded by federal government agencies, and some would be awarded through state government grants, and some of the funding provided to county governments could also be put to work inside cities. With so many opportunities to win grant funding, the City of Joplin couldn't just sit around waiting for a big check to arrive. Rather, we had to put in some extra work. City leaders understood this would be a unique chance to fund new and expanded projects we would otherwise have no other way to be able to afford in the next decade or more. Projects the city needs, but are just too expensive based on our local tax revenues. So, in 2022, the city hired a consulting firm, Guidehouse, to help us apply for many of these newly available grants, which the city might qualify for if we could show we had a history of financial responsibility, legitimate needs, and workable plans. Guidehouse helped us identify which grants we may possibly qualify for and assisted with filing our applications to the government agencies which make grant award decisions. Over the course of 2 years, we applied for nearly 50 grants. So far, we've been awarded 26 of the grants we applied for, awards which add up to over $58 million. That's $58 million which is being given on the condition the city spend less than half of that matching funds. Matching funds basically means the city is able to stretch its dollar and multiply our investment. If the city can only afford to spend $1 million on a project, the granting agency might provide another $1 million so we can do a $2 million worth of improvements. If you add the city's matching funds, a little over $25 million, the total approved projects costs are $95.9 million. That's almost $100 million in community improvements made possible with these grants. They'll all either be completed or at least underway in the next 3 years. To put the size of this into perspective, it would normally take the city 12 years to raise enough funds from our 3/8 of a cent tax to be able to spend about $95 million on such projects. I'm referring to the city's 12-year capital improvement project plan, funded by the capital improvement sales tax, which was renewed by voters in April of 2024. So we're really accelerating the city's ability to even make more really big improvements much faster than we would otherwise be able to afford. This is why the city's 2024 and 2025 budgets have been much larger than usual. We have an influx of grant money to spend on specific one-time projects which we would normally not be able to fit into a budget. The city saw an enormous investment to help the community rebuild following the 2011 tornado. But apart from that unique disaster recovery period, this kind of spending to improve our community is unprecedented. This is truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for cities like Joplin to apply for grants to be able to implement projects which, when you add them up, really feel like a makeover for our city. Surprisingly, not all cities put as much effort into applying for these available grants, and not all cities qualify to win each grant. Some grants are only awarded to areas of town which have had persistent poverty for generations. Some grants are only awarded to the best planned improvements. Each grant has different criteria, but city staff have worked hard with Guidehouse to make our case for why the grant dollars should be put to good use right here in Joplin. We're still waiting to hear back on decisions on 10 pending grants. If awarded, as requested, could provide another approximately $37 million. There are a lot of projects already underway in Joplin and many more which will begin soon. Projects which are possible thanks to grant funding which has been awarded to the city by the federal, state, and county governments. We are thrilled to see the improvements the grants will make in our community, and we're grateful for the biggest workload we've had since the tornado to ensure the projects come to fruition according to plan. So what are the grant-funded projects? Well, they include projects to improve infrastructure, widening and improvement of 20th Street from Schifferdecker to Central City, widening and improvement of Zora Street from Range Line to nearly out to I-49, 9 separate stormwater improvement projects to address flash flooding issues, extending drinking water to residents along Zora, 7th Street, and County Road 180, wastewater system improvements at 12th and Iowa, and sustainable transit structure study. Other projects to expand economic opportunities include citywide broadband implementation, MSSU Health Science Innovation Center, community revitalization through down payment assistance, home repairs and demolitions, lead remediation for residential homes, recycling outreach and education, and city facilities energy evaluation. Projects to improve public safety include better radio systems for first responders so they can communicate efficiently with agencies across the entire state. Various improvements being made to the Justice Center building, which houses our police, fire, 911 dispatch, and municipal court. Emergency medical service equipment, additional body cameras for police, a second set of turnout gear for firefighters, cybersecurity equipment, and training. Projects to improve our parks and trails and beautification include the Dover Outdoor Recreation Area, better known as DORA, Grand Falls Trail, Tin Cup Bridge and Trail, Par Hill Park improvements, additional trail amenities across the city, streetscaping on Main Street between 8th and 15th Street. Several of these projects will be underway in 2025, so prepare to see lots of orange cones around infrastructure projects as we work to improve streets and underground infrastructure. While overlapping construction zones and detours can be frustrating over the next couple of years, let's be thankful for the investments as we look forward to project completions and all the ways our lives will be made better thanks to more reliable infrastructure, safer neighborhoods, and better public spaces where we will be making memories with loved ones for decades to come. If you have more questions about this, I encourage you to review the recording of our December 16th City Council meeting, during which the city's finance director, Leslie Hawes, delivered a detailed presentation about these grant projects. Happy New Year, and thanks for watching.